Hey there guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. This is my review of Arsenal's draw at the Bridge this afternoon. The final score being 0-0. First and foremost, before I get into this video, I just want to say apologies that there was no coverage of the game against Cologne. Brilliant 3-1 win in the end, a rather scrappy first half, but came through in the end to win 3-1. Very impressive goals from Kolasinac and Alexis Sanchez respectively, and a great cap off with Hector Bellerin's third goal as well. Great game, and it led us perfectly into this game against Chelsea that I wanted to talk about. Again, apologies there was no preview for this game, but honestly I'm delighted to be talking about it now. A great performance from Arsenal, and can't help but feel a little bit frustrated that we didn't get the win in the end. The amount of chances we created, the performance that Arsenal put in, you can't help but feel that maybe we deserved 3 points at the end of this game. It had everything. Towards the end it got a little bit crazy. Yellow cards being dished out here, there and everywhere. David Luiz correctly getting sent off for what was a very dangerous tackle on Kolasinac. All round, very confidence-boosting performance from Arsenal. It reminded me so much of that 2-0 win against Manchester City that we got not too many seasons ago, just without the goals. It was a shame that we couldn't win this game because the opportunities we had in the first half, especially that Welbeck chance, the two Lacazette chances, just a shame we couldn't put one of them in the back of the net. Aaron Ramsey coming close with that effort off the post as well. On another day, we'd have won this game. And yeah, the thing that I'm really proud about from Arsenal today is the character we showed, the resilient performance, especially defensively as well. After conceding 4 goals away from home at Anfield, we could have quite easily crumbled in this game, given into Chelsea. But Mustafi was brilliant. He was in fact exceptional at the back. But Monreal and Koscielny alongside him, both of them as brilliant as each other. That back three simply complemented each other so well, and for me it's definitely the defence to play for the majority of this season. The way those three work, you've got the pace of Mustafi and Koscielny, you've got a great passer of the ball in Nacho Monreal. All three of them are actually very good at playing it out from the back as well. All of them very composed, very calm on the ball, all very good tacklers, and that's a very defiant back three for me. It certainly held up well against the likes of Willian, Pedro and Alvaro Morata in this game, and Eden Hazard when he came onto the pitch. The midfield is still slightly a concern because there were moments in the game where Chelsea got through a little bit too easily, although you've got to credit Aaron Ramsey and Granit Xhaka. They both held their own. Very determined performance from the two of them, linked up really well. I'm confident that partnership is only going to get stronger, but the way we play with the three at the back, it does mean we have to sacrifice a midfielder. Iwobi at times dropped in and helped the midfielders, and I think he did that very effectively. The way that trio worked was very good at times. I thought Iwobi coming back into the side after not having played too much. He had that game against Cologne, didn't perform particularly well, but came into the side today, held the ball up really well at times. His dribbling was magnificent, barely lost possession, did his job very effectively with the absence of Mesut Ozil. He came into the team, and I think he did himself proud. The same for Danny Welbeck, ran himself into the ground. If he'd have put that chance in the back of the net, would have been talking about him having a brilliant game. I hope that his injury isn't too serious. Wenger says it's not too much of an issue. It's a good groin problem, as he's described it, so hopefully Welbeck will be back on the pitch in no time. You don't want to see him injured after what he's offered to Arsenal this season. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited by this Arsenal team. I mean, the way we played against Cologne, where we switched to the back four, and the way we played today with the back three for the entire 90 minutes, it just shows that we are adaptable. It's just a case of finding that balance and knowing when to play the back four and the back three. It's good to see this Arsenal team could do it, and good to see that we've got so many options within this side. And I hope Arsene Wenger, it's going to be a difficult decision, but knowing when to play that back four and that back three is a decision that he's got to make, and he's very lucky that he's got the players at his disposal in which to do it. Mesut Ozil, of course, missed the game today. He was absent through injury. Chris Wheatley last night reporting that he was going to be out of this game, and I don't think we missed him too much whatsoever. Iwobi came into the team, did very well. Iwobi has often been criticised for not getting involved in the game as much as he should, but works really hard for the team today. Track back in, sorry, I've got a burp coming up. Alex Iwobi, who's so often criticised, came into the team and did a really good job today. One of the players that was always looking to create, go forward, and dropped into the midfield to defend when he had to. So a really good performance from Alex Iwobi. Surprising really to leave Alexis Sanchez on the bench. Maybe it's still a case of getting him back on side of the fans. Of course, we saw when he came on in that game against Bournemouth, he got a mixed reception, didn't overly celebrate his goal against Cologne on Thursday night. I still think it's a case of Arsene Wenger trying to just lull him back into the side, and I'm sure it's only going to be a matter of time before we see him in an Arsenal shirt more and more regularly. And who knows, I mean, we saw him smiling on the bench today when Aaron Ramsey almost scored that goal. Maybe he's ever so slightly falling back in love with Arsenal. If we can, you know, put in these kind of performances on a more regular basis, and there's no reason why players like Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil and so forth won't want to play for Arsenal Football Club. And I know that we're capable of putting in these kind of performances. It's just a shame that we haven't seen this kind of performance since that game against Manchester City back at the start of 2015. We have to be more consistent. The way we lined up today was brilliant. brilliant. We dropped into a back five at times. That worked really well. It didn't allow Chelsea any time on the ball. We were first to a man on most tackles. We created a lot throughout this game for a team that were having to sit back for parts of it. And for large spells of the game, we were the dominant side. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea had their chances and you have to credit them where it's due. But I thought we were the better team on the day, and I am very frustrated that we haven't come out of the game with 3 points. But 0-0 away from home against the champions, let's not forget. And to feel frustrated that we haven't won the game is certainly a good sign that things are on the up at Arsenal Football Club. But we've got to be a lot more consistent. The chances we created, the players we've got at our disposal, we shouldn't be 9 points behind Manchester United at this stage in the season. I know that it doesn't count for much when we're just 4 or 5 games into the season, but 9 points is a lot to make up. We've got to be picking up more points. We've got a nice easy run of fixtures coming in now, and I think that, well, not easy, there's no easy game in the Premier League, we all know that by now, but we should be winning these next couple of fixtures that we've got coming up, starting with West Brom next Monday. But this performance on the day, I mean, there's so much we can take from it. The performance of Aaron Ramsey was exceptional. The performance of our back three was sublime. Petr Cech as well between the sticks, absolutely brilliant. He made himself big for that chance Pedro had. If that goes in, it could be a totally different game. Did what he had to, and all round very defiant from Arsenal. But we've seen it before, and we need to see Arsenal be consistent. It's not a case of this can just be a one-off thing. We need to play like this against the likes of Manchester City, who are scoring goals for fun. We need to play like this against Liverpool when we play them at home, against Man United, teams that are free-flowing and scoring goals at will. It's going to be an interesting season for Arsenal. As I say, 9 points behind Manchester United at this stage doesn't count for a lot, but we've got to be getting points on the board. And if we can put in these kind of performances, then I'm still pretty sure we're still quite, a distance away from winning the title. But it is encouraging, and it's something to build on. It's a platform, and who knows what Arsenal could do this season if we see this on a more regular basis. But that is a big if. It's all down to the players, all down to Arsene Wenger. If they can make this a regular thing, then brilliant. Then we've got an exciting season in store. But on the day, really pleased with how Arsenal performed. Alexandre Lacazette, a player that has come under a lot of, I wouldn't say criticism, but scrutiny perhaps, had chances to score today. And I think the way that he linked up, the way that he held up the ball was a very good vocal point for Arsenal's attack. And I don't think that he should be coming under too much heavy criticism. Yes, I'm totally in the camp that he should have scored that opportunity that he had, but I'm going to let him off because he, it's difficult with this one, because if Danny Welbeck had missed those chances that Lacazette had, we'd all be ripping into him. But with Lacazette, I still think that the way he played generally was exceptional. Just a case of putting the ball in the back of the net, and the same argument could very well be made with Danny Welbeck. But I don't want to take any negatives out of Arsenal's performance today. Lacazette for me is a brilliant player. The same for Danny Welbeck. They've both got their attributes. They've both got their own skill sets, and they're both going to be brilliant assets to Arsenal. And on another day, those opportunities would have gone in the back of the net. I've got no doubt about that whatsoever. We've seen what Lacazette's capable of. We've seen what Danny Welbeck's capable of, and I'm hoping that we'll see what this team is capable of this season, because we've got an excellent disposal of players, and if we can put in these kind of performances on a more regular basis, then the world is our oyster. The sky's the limit. But as I say, going to be an interesting season for Arsenal, and to get a draw today at the home of the champions is a brilliant way to send out a message to the rest of the league that we're not going to be rolled over, we're not going to be humiliated how we have done before. Chelsea singing at the start of the game, Arsene Wenger, we wanted to stay, wasn't hearing that towards the end of the game. So, you know what, let's build on this performance. Let's take it into that game on Wednesday night against Doncaster. Let's beat them comprehensively. I'm hoping to see a lot of rotation in that game, possibly see the likes of Nelson and Keita, Maitland-Niles, players that are promising coming through the ranks. And then West Brom on Monday night, I want to see our strongest 11. I want us to absolutely blow them away, build on that, and hopefully we'll see a rampant Arsenal. But really pleased, especially with the defence today. 2 clean sheets on the bounce. I know that's not really saying a lot, but against the champions, against Bournemouth at home, a team that like to score goals, I'm really pleased with how Arsenal have built on this defensive reputation. And let's keep it going. Let's keep more clean sheets, and let's be seen as a team that knows how to defend. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it on that one. Please do drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on Arsenal's performance today away from home at Stamford Bridge. The first time we haven't conceded there since 2005. Absolutely unbelievable that. Anyway, guys, as I say, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be speaking to you very, very soon.